Jared Peter Christensen is questioning his life choices. Again. You'd think the guy would learn, considering how many idiotic binds he'd gotten himself into over the years, but apparently not. Granted, the thing he's gotten himself into this time isn't stupid, necessarily, just not super well thought out. That's the reality smacking him upside the head as he sits in an exceedingly boring meeting he decided to attend a mere 7 minutes before it started, which then involved a sprint across campus that left him out of breath and extra conspicuous when he came in 4 minutes late. He reads the slide currently on the screen behind the head of the sitting UCC president, a pretty Korean-American girl named Ari Park, who was droning on at the podium. Undergraduate College Council. Mission Statement. To accurately represent the voices, perspectives, and concerns of all undergraduates while protecting their rights and freedoms. His eyes drift to the door, but of course he can't walk out early after walking in late. He also put his name on that damn list, which, as Dad would say, means he has officially committed himself to this path. Your name in your handwriting is a declaration that you'll see something through, Bill Christensen said to 6-year-old Jared when he made him sign his first contract. It bound him to a set of chores in exchange for the funds that went into a 529 college savings plan. Jared sighs and shakes his head. The regret is too real. How did he even get here? The slide changes to an overdone graphic listing college policy changes the Undergraduate College Council has enacted since its founding. It's really his constitutional law professor, Dr. Ye's fault. Just before dismissing class earlier, she made it a point to announce that the UCC would be holding its first meeting for class officer elections. And she looked right at Jared as she said it. He could swear she was challenging him, especially since the look came on the heels of a class discussion about the current state of democracy, one that may have gotten a little heated at the end. Jared hadn't really meant to go off, as one of his black classmates put it, but he also couldn't sit there in silence as the guy who became his nemesis on the first day of class, an ass-hat-and-a-half, blue-blooded Florida boy, his words, named John Preston LaPlante IV, acted like he wrote the Constitution and could change it at will. The whole exchange is seared into Jared's memory. John Preston. You guys are so stuck on some perceived threat to voting rights, you're missing the forest for the trees. The truest threat to our republic is getting so far away from the values this country was founded on, the nation itself becomes unrecognizable. Imani. And what are those values, John Preston? Imani Williams is one of 3 black students in the class, living with an African-American roommate who survived both a wrongful arrest and a police shooting their senior year of high school makes it impossible for Jared not to notice these things. John Preston. That question just proves my point. Only a person with zero concept of what it means to be American would ask that. Imani. Me asking you to clarify your assertion with specific examples means I have zero concept of what it means to be American? John Preston. I'm just saying if you knew, you wouldn't have to ask. As such, that question isn't worthy of an answer. Jared, officially furious. Dude, you deciding someone's very valid question isn't worthy of an answer is precisely the opposite of civility and open-mindedness, both of which were American values at some point. I know we're talking about the Constitution, but if you read the Declaration of Independence, the bulk of the colonists' gripes with the king came from him having an attitude like yours. Imani, snapping her fingers. Go off then, Jared. In the moment, her approval made Jared's heart grow 3 sizes a la the Grinch. He had to resist thanking her out loud, and he knows he turned very red. But then Dr. Ye made her little election interest meeting announcement, and she'd eyeballed the crap out of Jared when she said the words Junior Class Council President. He tried to let it go. He really did. Shoved it out of his mind, went to his other 2 classes, and even popped by the frat house. But the moment he was alone in his apartment, all Jared could think about was Dr. Ye's eagle-eyed stare.